This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, this is Alex, and this is the Ramble. And we go until midnight tonight. Hello there.
Hello. How are you, Alex?
This is Albert Reynoso, who for years, and I could say for years, because it was about 9 years, right?
Over 9 years, close to 10.
Was the best producer I ever had for my radio.
And don't you forget it.
And I'm not going to forget it. And when I knew him, he didn't look like one of the guys on the cough drop boxes.
No, Smith Brothers.
Yeah,
no.
You look like one of the Smith, or both of them actually. They both had beards, didn't they?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I guess.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. And he's in fact, his beard is so big now, it even goes below the camera frame. How long did it take you to grow it that long?
I did not cut my hair, I think, since February.
Since February.
But I obviously I had the hair cut
February
recently.
of this year?
Of this year, yeah.
Of last year, you mean? Yeah.
Right, of 22. Yes.
Okay,
right.
so it's almost
not February.
That's almost a year's growth. Have you cut it at all? You probably trimmed it.
I trim it a little bit when it starts to get a little unruly here. But
see, I'm letting mine grow, although it doesn't seem to grow as fast as yours. But you may notice it's longer.
Yes, I was looking at you and noticing how clean cut your head is.
Well, that's because my wife cut my hair yesterday.
Well, she did a great job because it's got a real good, I guess, bald quality to it. It's very nicely done.
Hair on the side here, but you don't see it.
Yeah, no, it looks good like that. It's very good, and the beard is nicely trimmed, and it looks like maybe you've lost some weight there. I'm not sure.
I haven't lost weight.
No?
I wish I had.
Your face looks a little thinner for some reason.
I don't know. I mean, I lost a lot of weight, as you may remember, and then I gained it back about 30 pounds.
Yes, that's what happens.
I gained back about 25, 30 pounds. No, that's not what happens. What happened was I had my prostate operation.
Oh, okay.
And that caused a whole bunch of hormonal changes and so on and so forth. So, you know.
Well, generally, people who lose a good amount of weight, 20 pounds or so, they'll gain it back. Yeah, regardless whether they have prostate problems.
I think I would have not gained it back. I think I was very careful to stay on my diet, you know.
Yeah, I know you had the gluten-free bread or whatever.
No, I did, yeah, whatever. So.
What else is going on in the world of
what we got good news today.
Oh, did you?
As you know, we've had this apartment in limbo for what, 9 years, 10 years?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
One court case. Then finally, the judge makes a judgment, and it's a very good one. Okay.
According to you, the other side, I guess.
The other side didn't think so, so they went to the appeals court. We got the ruling from the appeals court today. He let the other judge's determination stand.
Oh, good. And is that determination very good for you?
And I can say this, I think, openly now, because there's nothing they can do about it, okay? We're paying $500 a month rent.
Oh my God. That's just criminal. I mean, that's great for you.
It cost us $100,000 to get that, you know.
Yeah, well.
But nevertheless, $500 a month.
Yeah,
you know,
that's great.
This is, I think, there was a guy I was watching YouTube, and there's a guy who does shows apartments and so on. He says, "Let me show you the most inexpensive apartment in New York," and it was like $615 or something.
Uh-oh, you got him beat.
And I was going to write him or get a hold of him and say, "Hey, I got you," because what it was this tiny little apartment where you had to go outside to change your mind. You know, I mean, it was that bad. Okay, but I would love to say to him, "Would you believe I have 2,500 square feet
Wow.
for $500 a month?" And that's the way it stands. Boom.
Well, I'm going to find out. I have a friend who lives in Queens who has a 2-bedroom apartment. He grew up there, and he still lives there. And his mother's there. He's taking care of his mother, and I think he pays about the same, $500-600.
Well,
for this.
it's probably a rent stabilized,
rent controlled,
apartment.
Controlled, yes,
and
it
those
is.
rent controlled apartments, even in this building, are somewhere around 1,000. Okay,
Wow.
you know, I mean, the landlord is hoping we'll die. Okay, that's the only way he's going to get out of this. And even if I moved to California, I would keep this apartment.
But don't you have to, under those rules, don't you have to make that your primary residence?
No.
No.
I can
Okay.
have
Well,
as
then
many
move to California.
I can have as
But
many.
you're not moving to
I think I
California.
can have as many residents as I want, as long as I'm not subletting this apartment. Okay.
Well, unless you get the approval.
Well, but you know, unless I were to sublet this apartment, which I would never do, at $500 a month, it's like, you know, chicken change.
That's right. Yeah.
You
Why
know?
sublet it?
I mean, you know, Marjorie usually goes halvesies with me on everything, like the rent and the electricity and so on. And I just said, don't bother. I'll just pay the $500 a month. You know.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's really, you know,
It's a great deal. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's good. So what's happening with you down in Florida, my friend?
Big things. I have a very big decision coming up today. Later this evening, I have to figure out whether I am going to have pizza, or I'm going to have Chinese food, or I'm going to have the leftover pork medallions I had 2 days ago. So tough stuff that I have to decide.
I would go. I'm not a big fan of pizza. Okay?
Oh, but I am.
Yeah, you are. Okay.
Yeah.
How big a fan of pizza? I mean,
a big fan. And you know, I live in a place where they don't have the
since
New
we're
York
talking
style
about
pizza.
a major decision here, what kind of pizza would you order?
Well, it would be a regular New York style pizza, you know, 8 slices.
Yeah, but what are what toppings?
Probably just sausage, I think.
Yeah. See, that would
I'm
mean
pretty much a purist.
My choice, if I went out and got pizza, would be a sausage,
Yeah.
mushroom, and onion.
Okay. That's good too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I might do that.
Yes.
It's possible, but
so-
it's still up in the air. These questions can't be answered immediately.
Well,
These
I
things.
mean, you know, you got to do it because 6 o'clock is getting here fast. Or maybe,
I know.
wait a minute, you're in Florida. 4 o'clock is getting here fast.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
No, I don't do that yet. I don't eat early yet.
Really?
Yeah.
With us, it's gotten earlier and earlier and earlier. Now it's 5:30.
But you got a couple of years on me, so I'll get there.
Yeah, we eat at 5:30.
All right.
Isn't that
Nothing wrong
wonderful?
with that.
Yeah. So you know
That's the scope of my life. Really,
that's the whole scope.
that's pretty much it. I don't really concern myself with a lot of things. There's not, you know, I pay my bills. That's about it.
You're not working, right?
Oh no.
Is
No,
your
I've done that
is your
already.
wife working?
Yes, she is.
What's she doing?
She works at Walmart.
Oh, at Walmart. Is she a greeter
Yeah.
or is she an actual person who works
No,
there?
no, there are no greeters at Walmart. That's a phony thing. I've never seen a greeter at any Walmart I've been to.
Really?
She picks people's groceries. She's always moving. That's why she likes that job, and she kept the job because, you know, she's a little thing who exercises.
Well, she
all the
likes to
time.
run. When
Yeah,
you
she's
come
moving around
stay
constantly.
here, she walks all 8 flights down
Yeah,
and all 8
exactly.
flights up.
Insanity. But she loves it because she's always moving. So
Yeah.
you know, if she were a cashier there, she wouldn't have stayed more than 2 days.
If I remember correctly, you take the elevator.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? It's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I go downstairs. I'll walk, but not up. That's
yeah,
no good.
yeah. So anyway, you're not working. How do you feel about not working?
I think it's great. Why would I want to work?
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
have to?
it keeps you vital.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, I have more time now to read things, to look online and research things that I have interests in, to read books, to watch movies and documentaries that I'm interested in, and to even go anywhere that I want to go than I've ever had before. So why would I want to work? For what reason? Just to make money?
Well, people say to me,
find money.
Alex, why do you do this show every night or 3 nights a week? Okay.
Yeah.
And I do one on Monday, that thing on Monday.
Right.
And my answer to them is it keeps me vital. It keeps me alive. If I didn't do that, then I just waste away.
But why? If that's all you have, then that keeps you vital. But I don't. There's really nothing, one thing that I must do, that I have to do. If I want to sketch something, if I want to write some music, I have the time to do that stuff.
Yeah, I know you have the time. Yeah, but you're keeping yourself busy, right? In other words,
most part, yeah. Well, people argue that point. They think that because I'm in the house most of the time, that I'm just sitting there watching The Price is Right, and that's not the case. When I'm watching something that I'm interested in. New movies, a documentary I haven't seen, something old, an old television series for some reason that I wanted to see it.
Well,
or they say, or you're on the computer all the time. Yes, because I get stuck in the vortex of Wikipedia and researching things and finding out more information about things that I don't usually have time when I was working.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I'm saying is that you do make sure that you have something to do, right?
Oh yeah, there's always something to do. There's no time where I'm just sitting around doing nothing. I mean, if there's nothing to do, I just don't. That concept doesn't enter my mind.
Yeah.
There's always something to do, and people don't do things that they used to do, which I still do. I still listen to music on my stereo, because I have a great sounding stereo system. And in fact, it's a 5.1 surround.
You play vinyl?
And I still listen to music often, very often. I'll put on an album. I'll track through the whole album. People don't do that anymore, but I enjoy it. And it's something that takes my time.
What young people would refer to you as.
I don't care.
An old fart.
Call me an old fart, but you know what? You'll get there too.
What do you mean? I'm there.
No, I'm talking about the young people. I'm talking about the young people. They'll get
finding
there.
myself. The main phrase in my life is when I was a boy.
No, I don't say that. It doesn't matter. Relative to the life.
I mean, my friend Shecky is always saying to me, "I hate this. This is terrible. What's happening here with this and that and so on." And I'm going, "Yeah, you know why? Because we're getting older. The younger people don't give a crap. They got their own set of things that one day, when they get to be our age, they'll go, when I was a boy."
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have holograms. Yeah. We looked at things on our screen. There's the little screen.
When I was a boy, we had a government.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, as I've said before, everybody moaning about the possible loss of democracy in America. It's bound to happen, because it happens in your lifetime. Don't feel bad about it. It's bound to happen. There is no democracy that exists.
There's no country that exists that hasn't had massive changes over the centuries.
Well, that's true, but there is also not one democracy that exists now that was around when this country started, when this democracy started. So don't think that democracy is a long-lasting thing. For this to have lasted 250 years is a pretty long time for a democracy. But humanity doesn't allow that kind of thing.
Is democracy highly overrated?
Difficult to tell. It hasn't lasted that long enough that I think.
Because, I mean, when you talk about a democracy, yeah, we have a democracy, but did you see what went on in Washington last week? And is that effective?
Oh, it's not effective at all, because the people who are elected, many of them don't really give a damn about their constituents, about what they're supposed to do,
about democracy.
Well, democracy is only the thing that put them
They
in
kept
power.
saying they're
Once they
defending
can-
democracy, and then they do an action like last week, which flies in the face of democracy.
That's all rhetoric. That's all rhetoric to keep them in power, just like anybody else. But you know, I would prefer to have a benevolent despot than to have a
Hey,
democracy.
Me.
Well, I
I'll
don't know
take
that
the
you're
joke.
necessarily benevolent. That's the concern.
Well, I could be
you know?
very benevolent. If
I've seen you very
I
angry
if
at-
I
at
was
people.
king of America, it would be very. See, this is what I don't understand about like the king of England, you know, or the queen of England. I mean, you've got it up made, okay? You don't have to fight for the right to be king. And
Right.
and what are you doing it for? You know, I mean, you got to be nice to everybody. I mean, how do you keep it? How do you keep a country going? How do you, if you're a ruler, how do you keep ruling? You give the people something. You know.
Well, that's easier said than done, I would think, because look at the nature of people. Everybody wants a different thing, and even groups of people within them, everybody wants a different thing.
Yeah.
So that's a tough thing. What's the best solution? I don't know.
See, I have a theory, and this is good. I mean, how old are you now?
60.
60. So you're not even getting Social Security yet.
Not yet. No.
Not yet. But I mean, I think that everybody, we don't have, let me put it this way. There are enough people who don't want to work that we should pay them not to work, because then there'll be more jobs for the people who want them.
But will
I don't
the
think there are
people who
enough
want the jobs want to work?
I don't
if
think
they cannot.
I don't think there are enough jobs to go around for people to make a real living.
Oh, I think you're right about that.
You know,
I think
so if that's
technology
the case,
changed that.
If that's the case, be like you do with farmers. You know, you pay them not to grow crops. Okay, well, pay people not to work.
I like the idea, but I don't think in practice it's
Because there are some people who just don't want to work, and if they don't want to work, why should they? Oh well, but so they'll make some money, so they'll be a what's the word I'm looking for here?
productive member of society.
Yeah, productive. I'm too old. I forget terms like productive. Productive member of society, and fuck that. You can be a productive member of society by not working.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I don't think it could happen if everybody doesn't work.
Well, they're not going to do it in this country because we have this work ethic. Oh, you have to work for what you get. No, not necessarily.
What work ethic do we have?
If you've got a vibrant democracy, then it's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right?
Yeah. And by the way, you don't get happiness. You get the pursuit of happiness.
That's right. You
have
to get the happiness on your own.
Yeah, that's your thing.
But we're giving you the ability to have the happiness.
Have the right to chase it. Yes.
But then why don't we say to people, you don't want to work? That's what makes you happy? Be our guest. You know,
well, I don't know. I suspect a lot of it has to do with our love and our desire for these old documents to rule us. Whether it be the Declaration of Independence, whether it be, whatever old 200-year-old document, or even worse, many scriptures. I mean, how long? 2,000 years old, 3,000 years old. We're following this in today's. It doesn't make sense to me. Let's write some new rules. Let's write some new ways to live based on how we live now, and stop going to the founding fathers. And founding fathers haven't been around for 250 years. What do we care about founding fathers? Why don't we have people with a foundation now?
Well, I mean, we should just supply things to people who, we should supply all the things they need, health care, so on and so forth, and a couple, about $500 a week not to work.
Where does that money come from?
I don't know, the other ones who are making money. Oh, I don't want to do that. Why should I pay for somebody not to work? Well, because that's the way a good democracy works. We take care of each other. The only reason we have a government.
That's a difference.
Wait a minute.
Democracy is a political situation.
The only reason we have a government, okay, is it's kind of we're all We're all chipping in, and we get all these things back. But the thing is that what the government doesn't want to do now, like the guys in Congress, they don't want to give those things back. They'd like to take away Social Security. They'd like to take away Medicare. I mean, why? Why? That's what a democracy should do. That's what a government should do. That's why you have a government, is so that you can all chip in to take care of each other.
I don't know that that's practical.
No,
I don't know if that's
it's not
practical
in this country. It is practical in other countries that do it. I mean, England's been very good at that. One of the best healthcare systems in the world.
Healthcare-wise, yes.
And you don't pay a penny. Somebody who was in
England. No. You do pay a penny. Someone's paying for that, and that's coming out of the tax structure in England, and that's coming out of whatever business structure there is to pay for that.
Okay,
but
I say
somebody's paying for it.
I say, okay, here comes my big argument. Okay, stand by for Alex's big crazy argument.
And now Alex's big crazy argument.
We're running out of time almost. I'm going to have to do this in 2 parts. Anyway, now I forgot what I was going to say.
Your big crazy argument.
My big crazy argument.
About government?
About government. I forgot it.
Oh, man.
I got so busy saying something else that I forgot what I was going to be saying.
All right. Maybe I'll come back.
You know what's interesting about getting older? The things that used to happen when you smoked pot now just happen all the time. You know, like that you're in the middle of a thought, you know?
Yeah, I smoke quite a bit of pot, so it's pretty much the same for me.
Really? Oh, okay.
The thought process is pretty much the same.
I only smoke pot to put me to sleep.
I don't. I do it for a lot of reasons, a lot of different reasons.
Really? Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't do it when I'm not when during the middle of the day or something, because it throws me off too much.
Not me.
I'm very susceptible to getting really high fast. I can do it on one puff off a vape. You know?
I envy you.
Yeah. Well,
that's nice.
You know, we just opened up our first pot store here in New York.
I heard.
Yeah.
Down in the Village, right?
Is it down in the Village? It's down somewhere downtown.
I heard. Why did it take so long? Has it been legal for a year now?
The reason they opened it up last month, middle of last month, and now they're giving away the other licenses for people to have.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right.
But there's a big argument about the licenses they're giving out, because what they're giving them out to are people who got arrested for selling marijuana and spent time in jail. They get the first choice of getting a license.
Why?
Because they feel that that's a way to make up for all the injustices of the people who went to jail for selling marijuana all those years.
So they get to sell marijuana legally before anybody else.
Let me ask you this question. Who would you rather have sell marijuana? Some guy who's got a business proposition going, or some guy who used to sell the stuff and knows it?
I suppose that makes good sense, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to know. My guy should be a dealer who just opened up a store.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Okay. So it made a lot of sense. They did that in New Jersey, too. They passed that in New Jersey. It's not that other people aren't going to eventually be able to get the licenses,
right.
But first come, first high. You know, I mean, whoever, you know.
Does New Jersey have dispensaries yet?
Oh, yeah. Well, they've had them for quite a while.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's now here comes my question. If I buy marijuana in California,
right,
and it's legal here in New York, can I bring it back to New York?
No.
But it's legal here.
No, you cannot, because it's still a Schedule I drug according to the federal government.
Didn't they just change that, or they just tried to change that?
As far as I know, it still is.
I think Biden asked that be changed.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. That would change the complexion of marijuana in this country instantly. But right now, if you go through TSA, which is a federal agency, they can take it off you if you're leaving the state.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a federal Schedule I drug.
Oh, well, okay.
I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, what happened was, they had trouble in some of these states what to do with the money. So they had these big safes and
Well,
people
of
to guard them
course.
every night. And then finally they found out the credit unions could take their money. So that's where they put their money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey,
So
listen, we've run
instead of
out.
banks, credit unions.
We've
Okay.
run out of time here. Boy, it went fast.
Yes, it did.
Just went by like lightning.
And we didn't even talk about anything. Just hair and beards.
Well,
And
maybe next time we will.
okay. Next
right.
time I'll tell you what I want for dinner immediately.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's Albert Reynoso.
Thank you, Alex.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
My old friend and producer, Albert Reynoso, who I love having on this program, and he's going to do it occasionally. We had him on the last couple of weeks at this time, so, we'll try him again. Anyway, hello, everybody. Got my coffee here, ready to go. So what's new? I'm waiting. I'll tell you about me. Let me tell you a little bit about me, and we'd like to get a few more people waiting online, but we only have 2 people waiting to get on the program. So I will, for a moment, tell you about me. If you've ever listened to me, you know that I'm a hypochondriac. Big time. I mean, a big time hypochondriac. For most of my life, every day of my life, I felt I was dying of cancer. And one day I finally got cancer, albeit prostate cancer, albeit a kind of low-grade prostate cancer. So what they did with me is they took me in and they pummeled me with radiation, first of all. What they call in some places they call it cyberknife. It's actually called stereotatic radiation, and that took like 5 episodes, and then they just demolished my prostate that way, and then the doctor came along and put 100 seeds in my prostate that were radioactive to kill the rest of it, to make sure everything was dead. Now, I had the same guy, believe it or not, who did Giuliani 20 years ago. And he's very good. I mean, he's world class. He wrote the book on seed implantation. And I remember when I said to him, when we found out I had the cancer, and I said to him, I went to him because he was the oncologist. I said, "Is this going to kill me?" And he looked me straight in the face and with just this grimace on his face went, "No." Okay, so that's what kind of a hypochondriac I am. So as a result, after this thing, this radiation and the seed implantation, I sought out my original urologist who started me out on this adventure, and I said, I don't hear from the doctor who did the operation on me. He said, you're not going to. He said, once they've done you, they're through with you. Okay, and he said, so come back to me and I'll take good care of you. All right, and he's of all the doctors I have, he's my favorite. Okay, and I got to tell you, I went to his office yesterday, and a day before yesterday, and I got to tell you, not only is he one of the most pleasant guys I've ever had as a doctor, but his staff is the most pleasant staff I've ever had to deal with. You know how you go into doctors sometime and they got the staff there doing all the billing and stuff, and the woman at the front desk, and they sign here, please, do this, do that, okay. Do you have your insurance card? Okay, you got your insurance card? It's not that way at this place. His people are just really pleasant, okay. Now, imagine this from a guy whose primary activity in life is sticking his finger up men's butts, okay? And I think some women's butts too, I guess. He is a urologist after. Well, no, he wouldn't stick it up a woman's butt because women don't have prostates, so there's no reason for them to stick a finger up their butt. But anyway, so I go to him, and he's really a good guy. He's really a terrific guy. And so I have to go to him at least, I've had to go to him after a 6-month period, come back at a 6-month period. And then this time I had to go back after 9 months. And the thing that dictated is they give you a thing called the PSA test, which is a blood test, which, by the way, every time I get a blood test, look, can you see that? Right there. That's where I have my blood drawn. Okay, I always go black and blue. Anyway, they draw blood on me and they give me, they send it out and they check for what's called the PSA, which they hope doesn't go up. Okay, because if it goes up, that's not good, especially since I've had the cancer operation thing. All right. So anyway, so they go and they do this thing for me, and they do the shot, and they draw the blood, and they send it out, and then it comes back, and whatever the result is, the result is. In my particular case, it has, since I had this prostate radiation thing going, and the seeds and so on, it has been almost undetectable, the PSA, and unmeasurable, as they put it. And that's anything below a 0.02 or whatever. Anyway, so that's the way it's been. It's been that way for, let's see, about 1, 2, 3, I think maybe four tests that I had. Yeah, probably 4 tests. And so I'm waiting for the new one to come back. It's coming back tomorrow because my doctor couldn't get it today because he doesn't go in on Wednesdays anymore. That's another story I got to tell you. But anyway, so I'm supposed to get it tomorrow, and I'm just worried about it. Is the cancer gonna come back? Is it not? Now, chances are, in my case, I'm knocking on wood, by the way. It does. It won't come back. I mean, I had everything done that should be done, and my doctor said that he only has had one case of a guy having it come back, and that's out of maybe 4,000 patients that he has. So he says, don't worry about it. He said, if it does, we'll do something about it, and if it doesn't, come back and see me in a year. Well, that means in a year I got to go take another one of these PSA tests and sit here the night before the program telling you how I'm all worried about the results of the test. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I mean, chances are pretty good, I think. Pretty good that it's going to be all right. So, knock on wood. Okay. So, but that's me, and I have to go through this like once a year. And before I used to have to go through it once every 6 months. Then once every 9 months, and now it's going to be once every year. So, and they made an appointment for me a year from now, so I guess he's hopeful that everything's going to be okay. But I'm sitting here looking up everything on the internet, what are the chances I've got cancer, blah, 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 that it's come back. They say, well, there's a 20% recurrence factor that happens after 12 years. So I don't know what that all means, but I read this stuff online. And I've gotten I know everything about medicine now because I've gone to the internet. Don't ever go there. Don't ever go there. And don't ever be me, by the way, if you ever get the chance. Well, it's time to bring our citizen panel in here, and I'm now admitting them all. You can see them popping in there. There's Brian Neary, and there's Alan. And wait a minute, and who? Wait a minute, Charlie. Read this stuff online. Hey, Charlie, you're sideways. Are you using an iPhone?
He has no power on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Charlie.
Got a power outage.
Oh yeah, you're out there in Texas.
Yeah. Texas grid. I have no electricity for 17 hours and counting.
Yeah.
17 hours?
Thank God you got that iPhone and that battery backup.
Yeah, some nice person sent that to me.
Yes, sir.
Sent you the what? The battery backup?
Yeah.
Alan sent that to me.
What's the battery backup? Is it a battery, right?
Charges.
It what?
There's enough charge to charge my iPhone like 10 or 12 times.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Good. Good.
This is what it looks like. This is a pretty heavy duty one.
Oh, I have one of those too.
Yeah, it's the same thing I sent to
Mine
Charlie.
mine doesn't work anymore. However,
I'll send you one.
well, it's my battery is the thing I charge it with is the battery is dead. Okay.
I'll find you some.
Oh,
If you want to, I don't mind accepting gifts.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
You take care of me entertaining me during the week. So
Yeah. So anyway, I'm a hypochondriac. Did you notice that?
Yes. So just remember, every time you go through it,
Yeah.
we go through it.
Yeah, I know. Do you remember this happening once before?
Thank you, Brian.
Many times.
Many times.
Yes,
yeah.
thank you, Brian. I didn't say it.
So tomorrow morning I will get up early and see if he sent me a note. He usually sends me a note as soon as he gets the results. So,
You're probably gonna outlive.
but he said
all
he
of us.
takes the Wednesdays off now. And what I love about him is he talks to me about his problems, which I love. What doctor does that, you know? And he was just telling me, he said, I've decided to start taking Wednesdays off. And I said, why? And he said, because, you know, I'm not getting any younger. And it's just that this business is getting so terrible, being a doctor, that I don't want to do it 5 days a week, you know? So I'm taking Wednesdays off. And I said, well, what's so terrible about it? He said, nobody pays you anymore. I said, oh, Medicare, huh? He said, no, Medicare is the best compared to everything else. He said, it's the insurance companies that are fighting you to not pay you off.
Right.
And he said, and I said, I guess that's why a lot of doctors are just going to HMOs and stuff. And he said, absolutely. He said, HMO, he said, I'd get maybe a couple $100,000 a year to be a doctor there, and I go home. You know,
Right,
I don't have to take care of an office. I don't have to have a staff, you know. But what he's got, he said to me, I've got 4,000 patients.
Wow.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Really? Wow.
He's really good, but he's really good. And I know why he has 4,000 is because once he gets them, they don't want to go anywhere else. Okay. And he's been in this business for years. And my GP, I think, has something like 4,000. And so anytime your doctor tells you that he acts like he knows who the hell you are, he really doesn't.
I thought mine actually did. Now you're starting to scare me a little bit.
Can we see you, Tony?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or are you in a witness relocation program?
I was doing a week ago for my mother. What number to play tomorrow?
No, what? I just, you know, I mean, and I know that maybe he remembers me vaguely, but he's looking down at a chart and he's telling me, and then we did this, and then you had that, and this is what happened when that happened. Because I'm one of 4,000. He's not going to remember the particulars of me, especially when he only sees me every 6 months.
I'm going to test my doctor next time I go next week. I'm going to try to figure some questions.
Well,
Hey, Tony, tell him the wife's pregnant again.
okay, but just say to him,
I'll never believe that, but I got to
just leave that chart closed. I want to ask you a few questions.
I know he went to Michigan. I think I'm going to know more about him than he knows about me.
Of course. Of course.
The degrees on the wall. He even know who Jim Harbaugh was. Did you went to Michigan? Don't you watch the football games? I never went. That's a good thing, I said.
Yeah. But I mean, I felt sorry for him. You know, like I was about ready to say to him, look, I know I'm only supposed to come back in a year if this thing's okay, but why don't you bring me back in 6 months? Just so you can bill the insurance company.
Alex, funny you said that. When I was talking to him about probabilities and all, he goes like this to me, Tony, it's low grade. This is not going to kill you. Don't worry about it. You're the one, you're telling me I'm the one getting the seeds and just did radiation. You're doing great. I just had 6 weeks of radiation. He said, but how's everything going? I said, I feel fine. Since you see, you got no side effects. I hope not. Yeah. I wake up sometimes at night to pee. I mean, he was like all thrilled with everything. I mean, he did good work. I mean, you know. Phil had me wearing a Pampers, Alex. When I was talking to Phil, Dr. Phil, you know what he said?
What?
Oh, you got to go bathroom. You got to go to the bathroom if you're in the car. I was fine. He put it. I mean, I guess I handled it.
No, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
Tony, you will learn real quick. Phil knows nothing about economics, medicine, government, religion, politics.
That's why the show tonight is going to be chock full of real information because he isn't here.
Actually,
He's prototypes.
your buddy Albert is a little behind the times on flying with marijuana. If you fly from one state
Isn't that
to
illegal?
another, and both states allow marijuana, you can fly with it, and the TSA won't stop you.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
and it probably is still a Schedule One drug, but Schedule One drugs are by the federal government are drugs that have no medical use, and I think that they're coming around to marijuana. But I think federally, that's right. So
Yeah.
but,
Well, anyway,
yeah,
so,
you can travel.
so I mean, I kind of felt sorry for my doctor because I really like him, and I mean, I'm sure he makes a decent living. He's single. He has always been single, but he's single. And
Is this the urologist, Alex?
yeah, my urologist. Yeah.
I mean, I like my guy too, Dr.
Well,
Ricciardi.
he's a
good. He lives in
urologist,
Westchester,
and
so
like
must be
me,
doing
he
good.
knows the positive uses of the penis. You see, and when you're single,
I
you
should have
get
you on
more.
the phone.
When you're
Let's-
single,
let's
you
go
get more
Alex.
of more of a chance.
I was like, hold on, I know this guy, Alex. He may be able to answer these questions
Like,
a little better than me. Everybody's laughing in the office.
Well, he did the finger thing with me, and he said, "Yeah, well,"
Yeah.
he says it's like
he said it was smooth me.
He
Yeah.
says like it should be. It's flat and shrinking. And I said,
Oh.
I said to him, I didn't say it to him, but I thought to myself, well, I had many good years with this.
I was going to say, did you count how many balances you had? I mean, my God.
I put it to good use, and I wasn't married, and even when I was married, I put it to good use.
He probably had to hold his practice. Wait a second, this is going to be a long one.
Yeah, but I felt kind of sorry for him. I wanted to I should say to him, listen, why don't I just come in and see you in 6 months, okay? Or I should just call him and say, I need to see the doctor. And then when I go in and I sit down, he says, what's your problem? And I say, I don't have any. I just wanted you to make some money.
Yeah, take my card, bill it as much as you want within reason.
Yeah, and charge me
I
as
thought
much.
that's what Marjorie does.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't like going to the doctors.
Doesn't Marjorie go to so many doctors?
Marjorie, listen, if Marjorie stopped
Look,
going to her
welcome.
doctors, the entire medical system in New York would collapse.
That was like my mother, Alex. She loves seeing the doctor.
How many doctors do you think by the end of tomorrow she has seen this week? There are only so far 4 days in this week.
3?
You had the
Because I remember, like,
correct
my
answer.
mother, we were always going to the doctor every week with her. It's like she knew the month.
Tomorrow she's going to her third doctor of the
I mean,
week.
she went to the toe doctor, my mother. I had to go there to get her nails cut. I still get cards from that guy. Oh, he had to cut those nails. God bless him.
Tony, it's
That was
called
hard.
it's called the podiatrist.
I know. You had to see when she flipped the shoe off. He's like, oh, can you come? She had little petunias.
Calm
this
down,
morning. Come on, we really got to go for this?
Calm-
Come on.
Hey,
Nancy,
I
come on.
did not send him coffee. I swear to God.
I actually got to get a cup. I made some.
No, don't.
Drinking yours.
Don't. Oh God.
Just Alex, just mute him so when he comes back, he doesn't know he's on mute. So it's good.
Really.
Just mute him.
And my friend has a big eye practice down here, so I text him. I asked him how many patients he has, and does he remember everybody or his folders?
He hasn't sent you back a message yet, though.
No, I just texted him.
That'd be interesting what he says. But of course, if you're a doctor in New York, the practices are pretty huge
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure he
be-
doesn't have that many, but he still
because
has-
just of the general population here.
right.
It's pretty huge.
Yeah.
And I'm not feeling sorry for him because if he says he has 4,000 patients, but I'm sure he doesn't see all of them. Okay, so
Right.
but I felt sorry for him. I felt like this is a good guy. He has a good practice, and these medical insurance companies just nickel and dime him to death. And Medicare says, here's what it's worth, here's what we'll pay. But these guys just constantly nickel and diming him. And that's terrible. It's
The
just
stock
terrible.
in your company ought to go up, Brian, here in May. Biden is stopping the emergency of COVID. And so when you want at-home COVID tests, you'll probably have to pay for them unless your medical provides it. Medicare does not provide it for free. Testing is going to cost you whatever your copayment is. All that's going bye-bye. You know why? Biden would like to have extended it, but the Republicans won't sign the budget.
Yeah.
We have so many different assays for tuberculosis and stuff that we've been not shipping for the last couple of years. We're making up all that time, so we're
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Jeff. How are you this evening?
Good.
Your head is really low in the frame, and you're lying back there, and you look like you're.
I'm
When your lens is dirty, your lights are shining like stars.
well, maybe I got the lights. I'm in a different place today. I mean, at home, but
Now just clean the lens. Maybe that'll help.
that's what I'm trying right now. How's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
If you turn the lights off, that'll help too.
Yeah, you'd be like Charlie then.
Boy, you guys are
Like me.
Charlie, I didn't notice, but you're black.
What's his name? Albert wants.
You're really dark in there.
Albert came up with an idea. He wants to do a show with me, in which he would just interview me about my life. Not a lot of. I told him because there was a lot of stuff in the life story that I told, which wasn't amplified. You know, there weren't particular. You know, I didn't get really particular on certain things.
Perfect, Jeff.
And so he
Thank you,
said,
Jeff.
"Oh, that's good." He said, "What, you know?" And I said, "What should we call it?" And he says, "I just come up with a name." So I've come up with a name, and I've been thinking about this as a name for a show anyway lately, and it's called "Alex Bennett is Dying."
Oh
You
yeah,
always want to do that.
yeah. I know why too, because remember that one time you put something on your Facebook. And it was just like, oh yeah, you're doing good after the doctor visit or something like that. And remember, everybody started posting all that like,
Oh, they
crazy.
thought you were going, yeah. They were on
Yeah,
Facebook.
they're like, oh, please get better. Remember, you put something on your
You
Facebook a
should
long
fake
time
your own
ago?
death like Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, last year you put something about getting better, and then everybody freaked out and was saying, "Oh my God, I hope you get better."
Well, my feeling is that to begin with, everybody is dying from the day they're born. Okay.
Yeah.
But my other reason for calling it that is I'm 83 years old. Of course, I'm in the process of dying. I don't know whether it'll be 10 years from now or 15 years from now or whatever. But I'm dying.
Or before your next urology appointment.
Well, I may get that
taking
information
those
tomorrow,
off
and then I'll be back in.
Sorry, I meant a year from now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I hope it stays away from you, Tony, and that look, Rudy Giuliani had the same thing done to him that was done to me, except they also gave him the hormones.
Oh, wow. So Rudy, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why he's such a bitch.
Is that why he's so crazy? Rudy gave it to me.
So Tony didn't use the same urologist you did he?
No.
No.
But anyway, he and Rudy Giuliani is still alive. Prostate cancer never killed him.
True. You know what he told me, Alex? And I don't want to beat a dead prostrate. I don't know if that's funny.
Dead prostate.
Oh, prostate?
Yeah.
You know what my doctor did tell me? He says, Tony says, this is not going to kill you because it's so this. It's just not. It's not. You're going to get something's going to happen. He says, this is because you got it so early. He said, so don't even.
And
worry
you've
about
never
it.
had any use for that prostate anyway,
Exactly.
right?
I said, you can just have it now. We'll just leave it at the desk. Can I donate it? I mean, really? My life is nothing. This is my mother getting back at me now. Come on now. Wake me up. Because I used to yell at her when she used to wake me up at 2 in the morning.
Okay. Calm down. Tony, calm down.
But Alex, you know what she used to do to me?
Calm down, Tony.
I know. She made me drink coffee all night to stay up. You know what she used to do to me?
Oh,
I'm watching MASH late at night, right? And I'll never forget this as long as I live.
Tony,
She was in the other room. Anthony, I says, what? What's the matter, Ma? I need some water.
Alex,
She used to wake me up.
he'll never know. Perfect. He won't know.
That's right.
That's so funny, Tony. Oh my
Oh,
God.
God, Tony. Yeah, really. That is good. Tell us more, Tony.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Wait, let's pretend like we're listening to him.
Yeah, we are. That's why Brian's saying things.
Wow. Oh yeah.
I was going to have some more coffee. Oh, that's good, Tony.
I can't make
So,
Can you hear us, Tony?
Yeah. Put
So
a
Charlie-
thumb up if you can hear us, Tony. We're having problems.
so Charlie, how's the weather going to get better? Are they saying anything about the power or anything?
Oh, all they keep saying is we're working on it. We're working on it.
This is
Is it just your
Crazy.
neighborhood, or is this they talking statewide or is this neighborhood or what?
In Central Texas, where this big snow blizzard and all that crap has been going on.
Do this. Tell
I saw it was
people.
all over Dallas, Houston, Austin,
Oh,
all over.
Oh, I was talking to Jack Bishop. When was it? Yesterday, I think, or maybe today. He called me, and he said it's just icy out there. He said you can't even go out. You can't even walk outdoors. I saw a video on the news of a woman who was literally crawling on her hands and knees across the ice because she couldn't stand up. It looked like she was wearing heels, which is not a good idea in weather like that. You know.
Good idea. All right.
Yeah.
People are breaking off of trees. They're so full with ice.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
That's what happens is it rains and then the weight builds up and
Yeah.
it freezes. And
Yeah. Tony, how's the weather where you are?
He's been talking the whole time while we've been talking.
This is wonderful. It's like Tony the mime, you know.
Remember to do this to Phil when he's on, please.
Oh, yeah, really? Oh, that's great, Kevin. Yeah, tell us all about it.
Oh, here, I can't do it to him.
But Charlie, is it like a small area? I mean, I know like Texas has this whole big grid, right? So are they saying everything is down, or are these just like
whole grid.
you're cutting out a little bit? Oh,
Is it
Tony,
falling on the
Well, Charlie, you just got muted.
You know.
Charlie.
he's going back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, he's cutting in.
Yeah.
in my cell phone?
You know, we had you muted for the last 5 minutes, Tony.
I thought so because I just came up. Would you like to unmute yourself? I said, "Oh, I didn't." Good thing you did. I don't blame you. Do it again.
Don't make me regret it.
I don't like to hear myself.
Don't make me regret it.
You got me hooked on Last of Us. Great show.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a really good
That's
show.
great. I just watched it again.
Is anybody watching it
it's so
besides
good.
Tony and I?
That's
No,
so
I think
good.
I will. I think I will.
Oh, the last episode.
The first episode.
Wait a minute. Are you there, Charlie? We can't hear you. You're breaking up, Charlie.
Yeah, well, you keep going on mute back and forth.
Well,
somehow,
I have
like,
no
automatically.
power, so I'm sure that the cell sites are few and far between.
What is he doing for food, Charlie? With the refrigerator had to go out.
He's
I
eating.
haven't opened my yet because I don't want the food to spoil. But
He's
I
got his
really
Skittles.
can't.
Tony, he's fine. He's got Skittles.
You want me to send you some? I mean,
Hey, Charlie, here's an
Candies.
idea. Do you have just take all the food that was in your refrigerator and put it outdoors?
that's true.
I'll stay cold.
Yeah, just keep refilling with ice water or something, frozen.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, you just, again,
This is gonna happen every year. I mean,
Apparently,
what's their fix?
so it's a Greg Abbott electrical plan.
Yeah.
That guy's
Texas,
crazy, man.
Texas will not connect to the national grid. So
Yeah.
when there's a power outage, they can't do a couple switches.
Oh,
like they-
basically, the national grid says "fuck you,"
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
you know,
guess.
shit. That's terrible.
and guys and there you've got Charlie. Where is he? He's in the dark.
But Greg Abbott's wheelchair probably has 17 extra batteries.
Yeah, something like that. I wonder if Jack's going to be able to do his show tonight. That'd be interesting.
Last night he had a good crowd. It was a good show.
Really,
He had like 6 of us on.
really, it's good for him. If he can get 7, I'm going to stop doing this. But
Tuesday is his big day.
is Tuesday his big day?
Yeah, because you're not up.
I'm not on.
Oh,
Well, come on now. I'm on, and hopefully people who are listening to this program will then go over and do his.
A
I
couple
have a
people.
hard time getting.
Were you there last night, Kevin?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Charlie and I were. That's it out of this group.
How's the weather down where you are, Kevin?
It's cold, but it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mornings are really cold this week, but yeah, it's better than a month of rain.
Well, we are
Yeah.
supposed to. The weather here. Hold on a second. The weather here. Let me look at the rest of the week here. The weather here for the rest of the week is on Saturday. Well, on Friday they're expecting it to go down. Well, tonight it's going to go down to 25 degrees. Okay,
Oh, I'm excited.
25 degrees on Thursday, 19 degrees, or rather, is it 19? Was it? No, it's 10 degrees on Friday. Okay. And then 7 degrees on Saturday. You know, we very seldom see it go that low.
I know, and we had no snow other than that dusting the other week.
We had some snow this morning.
Yeah, I woke up, I looked outside, I said, wow, we got a little snow, like a little half an inch.
I should probably send Charlie one of these next. It's a little LED light. It's pretty bright, and it plugs into the same charging block. And I use them when the power goes out.
But the problem is that battery is going to wear out, okay?
No, it's lithium. Well, you recharge it then.
No, but what are you going to recharge it on?
Yeah, that's well.
You got to plug it in. I mean, come on.
Come in your car.
No,
Going up there.
you plug it into the same thing your iPhone into to recharge.
That's right.
Well, wait a minute. What do you plug your iPhone? You plug into a USB port, right?
Alex, I'll send you a charging block, a cable, and the battery. It'll be self-explanatory, especially to somebody like.
But you can't charge it if you don't have electricity.
Yeah, well, you charge it before the electricity goes out.
Yeah, like Charlie knew. Charlie was
No,
already.
I know you
posted.
charge it before the electricity goes out, but then suppose it goes out for 5 days.
Yeah,
Well, then you're out of luck.
Then you're shit out of luck.
That's like the
Exactly.
phone box. You're on your own.
Not if you have 4 batteries like that, like I do, and 2 in my car.
Hopefully by then he's got.
What do you?
Hey, Charlie, why don't you get in your car and meet me in Arizona and watch the Super Bowl?
I may have to do that.
That's like halfway.
Anyway, so
Okay.
no,
And
no,
the electricity's still on in Arizona.
so no one is watching The Last of Us beside Tony and
Oh,
I.
it's so good. I'm gonna buy the video game.
I'm sure Tony has a lot to talk about it.
Oh, it's great. It's a great show.
No, the last episode was. I won't go into what it was, but it's one of those episodes where by the end a tear comes to your eye. It's
yeah, it was
that
sad.
emotional.
Yeah, I heard your show on Tuesday. I was listening to it. Yeah, it was
very emotional.
It was sad. Yeah, I mean, you were right about it. It was very sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard his show on Tuesday.
I was listening to the Monday
He
show.
meant the Monday show.
Yeah, same here. People were harassing me on that show.
He could have he could have listened to the Monday show on Tuesday.
Why?
That's true. Yeah.
Why were they harassing me, Brian?
Well, I just
Mandy harasses me on that show. That's why.
Mandy
He's in love with you.
Mandy hates him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She dared me there. She threatened me. She dared me to call.
Yeah.
And I was listening to it on the way home from Lodi yesterday.
Actually, we have a very nice, happy show there with a bunch of people who really like each other. So to say that she hates him is kidding, you know.
She hates Phil.
Oh yeah.
No, she hates me.
Yeah, you even met him and she hates him.
Well, that's common with most people who have never met Phil.
right.
And if they meet Phil, the good thing about meeting Phil is if you hate Phil, once you meet him, you're going to hate him even more.
No, you know that's wrong. That's wrong. When you meet him, you like him. That's the problem.
Oh, you see?
Do we have any more letters for Phil? Remember you had on Live on the 5, you had letters. Oh, we got letters. We get letters every day.
No, I haven't gotten any lately, but, occasionally I get one from 1 or 2, 3 people, 4 people, or 5 people, or 6 people, or maybe 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, maybe 11 or 12. But anyway, that say, that guy's a pain in the ass. And I go, I agree. They say, why do you have him on?
He even gets more than I do.
No.
Yeah, that one guy hates you on Alex's page too. They post up after the show. I usually read it.
Yeah.
The hate that comes out of those posts are kind of funny though, I think.
No, my old feeling used to be, I don't care whether you love me or hate me, just as long as you listen.
Yeah, me too. I mean, they're listening. It's enjoyable. I mean, it's sparking something that they hate him.
Well,
I wonder why they hate him so much, though, Phil. Is it his attitude, you think?
Well, I think it's
Republican.
It's his politics.
Oh,
Yeah. It's
Republican. Oh, we got Republican on the list.
Oh,
Alan said Republican again.
I said Republican?
Alan.
No, he's got to listen to me. Jew, Trump, Republican, and
Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago, sorry.
Oh, well, you just said it.
Just said them all.
Yeah, I just said them all. There we go.
We just hit a trifecta.
Yeah.
I want to bring something up here, and I just want to
so
see.
bad.
What?
This weather is so bad.
How bad is it?
I'm leaving. to
No.
Florida.
Oh, tomorrow you're going.
Oh,
Yeah,
from
you're going down to
right.
Florida.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to be wearing T-shirts.
It's so cold. How cold
It was
is it?
75
How cold is it?
degrees in Florida.
It's so cold
How cold is it?
that I was in Central Park just an hour ago and I saw a squirrel trying to thaw his nuts.
It's cold.
That's how cold it was.
And now crime's going to go down because the muggers don't want to be out in the cold weather too. How do you pull the gun when it's 0 degrees? You're going to drop it. Watch out. It's hot.
You better wear gloves because it's cold, you know.
You got the isotoners on with the 38.
Yeah, exactly.
Isotoners.
Listen,
in years.
Something's really been bothering me lately. Now, this whole thing with Trayvon Nichols, is that it? Tyree Nichols. I keep mixing him with Trayvon. Tyree Nichols. It was terrible. Anybody who saw the videos, you were.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it.
It was horrible to watch.
Yeah.
And I didn't relate it to it as being a black man being beaten up. I related to it as a human being beaten up. And, the cops have been doing this for years, but now they're being called to account for it. And we also have the technology out there where there's video of all this stuff. Mm-hmm. We didn't have that before.
They couldn't have picked a worse place. A camera on a pole aiming down right on top of where they're walking around. This guy's handcuffed.
And then they could intermix
and
that. And they could intermix that with the body cams and so on. But we have video everywhere. When we had the thing up in Minneapolis, you had somebody with an iPhone who shot the whole thing. George Floyd had an iPhone. So the technology is out there now that, you can't get away with this stuff. And when people try to, there's proof that it happened. However, and as appalled as I am by what I saw, I was bothered by seeing it. And I was bothered by seeing it because there are 5 people who are being called to account for this, who are going to be put on trial.
7 now, right?
No, I think the other 2 were just relieved of duty. They haven't decided what to do with them yet, whether to file charges against them. But be that as it may, they released the video, which I thought was a bad idea. And the reason I think it's a bad idea is that all of a sudden you've got all these news operations sitting there showing it, in slow motion and backwards and upside down, and look at what's happening here and what's that cop? Oh, he's chewing gum, And I mean, they're just analyzing this to death. And then the American public is also seeing this, and the possible jurors are also seeing this. Don't you think that a video like this, the only good that it does by releasing it, is to make Memphis look good, to make the Memphis authorities look good, but that the better judgment would be we only show this when it's time to show it in court, and not let the news media prejudge the case by showing it, saying, isn't that terrible, the way that guy is standing over there not doing anything? Yeah, it's all horrible. It's all terrible. I can sit there and say the same thing. But, where are you going to be able to impanel an unbiased jury in this case with that kind of stuff out there? I think that we should do what they do in England. In England, if people are charged with a crime, that's the last anybody talks about it till it goes to court. And then it's proven in a court of law. Of course, there you have to prove yourself innocent, as opposed to the state having to prove you guilty, different kind of law. But nevertheless, I think that's a good thing to abide by because, the press just has a field day with this thing and starts trying this whole thing on the air. And that bothers me because as disgusting as, and I'm going to have to say it now because I've seen the video, as disgusting as these guys were, they deserve a fair trial. Would anybody disagree with that, with what I just said?
Yes. They're not going to, I would bet you they will, unless where did it happen? Nashville? No, where did it happen?
Memphis.
Tennessee. Unless Tennessee has different laws than most of the country, they didn't commit murder. they committed manslaughter. Murder would have been, let's stop this black guy and let's kick him to death. That's murder.
Yeah.
So manslaughter is the unlawful killing of a human being.
Negligent.
So they're really,
die.
but still, this is
But they're being
horrible what
charged
they
with
did
murder
to this
too, aren't
guy.
they?
Charlie, do you disagree with me on this? Okay, good. Because I get very bothered by it. Every time this happens lately, I realize I can think whatever I want to think of these guys, and believe me, it isn't good. Okay.
No.
But I have to defend their right as an American to a fair, unbiased trial.
And they've even gotten to the point where they're comparing the videos to the police press report that was released, and that's even more analytical.
Yeah.
They're just getting way overboard with it, I think.
Yep.
Well,
And remember, this is at night, the middle of the night where there's nobody around. If this was during the day, and there are people around those houses, maybe people would come up there and they're there on their cell phones, and those are going out instant. Everything else, all these other recent ones have been instantaneous. There's no way to control those.
Right.
This one just happened to be a way to control it, but they pushed everything out.
Well, I think there are several things here that we haven't seen. We have no video of what went on before it. Was he racing down the street at a breakneck speed or going the wrong way on the street or whatever they claim?
Right. But
what was the initial encounter?
Well, we actually do have that. It's actually been posted.
That has been?
Car,
Yeah,
what they're claiming?
Go ahead,
What they're
Brian.
claiming of the car? Why they were trying to pull him over?
No,
That's the
I
thing.
don't. Yeah, the videos that I saw were like on ABC, and it was 4 videos. It started out with a call of somebody driving reckless or at high speed. They catch up to the car, a couple of them.
Mhm.
They take the person out of the car, but he resists arrest. They can't get 5 officers can't get control of one guy. The cables only go like 20 feet. So they miss him with the taser.
Mhm.
But one of the cops was nice enough to try and pepper spray him, and
They missed him with the pepper spray.
He
They got his
ended
buddy.
up pepper spraying one of his fellow officers. So the whole video is washing this fellow officer.
Yeah, right.
Then they cut to the next video, which they find the guy running down the street. They surround him, and they fight him to get him into handcuffs. They finally get him in handcuffs, sit him down, lean him against the vehicle, and then start kicking and beating him. And
Okay,
that's
let me
horrible.
just for a moment. Yes, Brian.
Oh, I'm just gonna say, but I think that's what Alex is saying. That I haven't seen this other first video either. But the question is, why was he being pulled over, right?
Right.
I don't know
Here's
you.
what I've learned from the video. Okay, the main lesson I've learned from the video. First of all, if the police ever start beating on you like that, just go limp. Do not respond. Just, try and cover yourself or whatever, but go limp. Because there's no benefit to you fighting back. Okay?
He couldn't fight back.
Right.
By the time
All I'm saying is just go limp. Just go, hey, I'm not going to do anything here. The other thing is you don't then get up and run away. Because then that really, these guys are macho guys, and their sudden attitude is, oh, well, you can't do that to us. We're cops. We're going to get you and beat the crap out of you. So you don't run away. That's another lesson to be learned. Charlie, you had your hand up? I can't, where's your audio, Charlie? Try and see if your audio's on.
Yeah. There you go. Oh,
Is it on now?
Yeah, it's on.
Yes.
Yeah.
What were you asking me?
I was saying.
Oh, I was getting. I was not.
See, your mic keeps going out on you, and I don't know why.
You might be too far away.
No, it could be that it's
We both have the same iPhone. Take my iPhone 14, Charlie.
See, there we heard you, Charlie. You know. Yeah. And
Yeah,
now,
I'm not.
yeah, he's breaking up for some reason. Yeah.
Well, if there's no power on, then they can't power the cell towers. And
What they need to come up with is a phone that is charged by ice, and then you'd be in great shape. You know.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you could probably go satellite. These phones work on the satellite, the 14s now.
No,
Yeah, just in emergencies.
Right.
No,
well,
they
this
don't.
is an emergency.
I don't think they work on the. You can't make a call on the satellite.
No, you can only text.
I think you can't even do that. I think it's only used for emergencies.
That's what he just said.
Supposed to be when you're like out in the wilderness where you.
That's right. I guess one of the good parts about the iPhone 14.
I was thinking about getting myself a one of those Ultra watches. The Ultra ones, they're really big. They're gigantic.
The one with a heartbeat on it and all that.
No, I have the heartbeat on mine. In fact, I can test my blood oxygen on mine. Yeah.
So can I for $5.
Oh.
A pulse oximeter.
Yeah. Anyway.
But you can't read.
So anyway, none of you disagree with me about what I'm saying about what they've done, because the only benefit that I've seen to the to the releasing of the tapes is to the Memphis Police Department, the Memphis city fathers or whatever, because otherwise I don't need to see that stuff. I really don't.
Well,
it's not.
You don't need to, but the prosecutors need
the prosecutors need to,
they
and
know to charge them. The city
exactly. But you
so
don't
they know to terminate them.
Do we need them? Do we need to see those videos?
No.
You know, what is there we can do, except get really mad and protest and demonstrate and do things like that? But we should do that anyway, because this guy was killed at the hands of the police.
Absolutely.
You know.
Well, once the police and the guy who started it, and they go to, and the judge says, okay, you're in trouble, you're not, whatever, you leave, you're going to prison. At that point, we can all look at the information, because it's public information.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'd
Before
rather watch Donald Trump take the Fifth Amendment 400 times.
geez.
Oh yeah, he didn't answer.
Boy, would you? I don't know whether I would want it to have been the people in that room with Donald Trump or Donald Trump having to say, he at a point he didn't even say I plead anymore. He was just saying what I just said.
What I just said.
What I just said. But he has the right to do it.
Yep. He does.
That is a very important right that we have, is to not incriminate ourselves and to not answer a question under oath if we feel that what we would be saying would come back to bite us in the ass.
Of course, there's 3 videos in when he ran for the
where he said that if you,
where he said the only people that do that are criminals and the mafia. So.
Yeah, right.
Well, he's in good company. Move over, Capone. Here I come.
Yeah, right. Right. And this was about what? What was that? What was that whole thing about? I'm trying to remember what he was testifying about. It was in the Stormy Daniels payments.
Right.
She said he had a small pee-pee. Remember, she said that or something.
Pee-pee?
Yeah, pee-pee.
You mean dick?
Yeah, prostate cancer. He don't.
How many of you feel just great that for best short animation?
Yeah.
One of the pictures that's been nominated is a film called My Year of Dicks.
Is it? Oh, you did? I thought you were joking about this.
It's not just a film about a woman who went out with a bunch of guys named Dick. No, it's about a girl who decides she doesn't want to be a virgin anymore, and it's animated.
Oh,
and it's called My Year of Dicks, and it was hilarious when they announced the nomination. And they didn't know what they were going to have to read, because they were secured before the nominations were handed out. And this guy reads the list and he goes, "My Year of Dicks," And then he kind of paused. And he looked up to see if he was reading it correctly,
I didn't.
and he was. He absolutely was. So
Was it a good year? Imagine it go.
we've come a long way, haven't we?
I mean, did you ever think? I thought you were joking when you said that Monday. That's true then?
Yeah. Don't drink coffee
Oh,
before you
my
call.
God.
Wait a minute,
It's
you
not
let
even-
him on
not
the
drink.
Monday show?
What?
You let him on the Monday show?
No, I was listening
Oh
in the
no!
kitchen.
Oh no! He won't.
I don't come on.
I
know
won't
my-
let him on the Monday show because if he comes on, Marjorie will hang up.
I listen in the kitchen when I'm cooking.
I listen to the show, but I don't get up that early, so you don't have to worry about me.
You don't get up at 4 in the afternoon?
Oh my God.
Well, it's 1 in the
Beautiful.
afternoon here, and so I get up around 2 usually.
Wow. You're a late sleep. You must be up all night, like a night
I
owl.
am. I'm up till 4 in the morning.
Yeah, I could see him up all night.
I used to be that way. I used to stay up all night. I used
Oh,
to
I
stay
see.
up till
What's the
5.
Wendy got married.
Oh.
No, till 5, like 5 o'clock in the morning. I stay up till at least 2 o'clock in the morning now.
Yeah. I do that now easy, yeah.
You know, but then I've got this show, and then afterwards I have to wait for Jack to be through, and then I have to post his show. And so by the time I do that, it's 1:30, you know, and so I
So
got.
as far as you know, Jack is having a show tonight.
So far as I know, I think I would have heard from him already, you know,
Okay.
if I wasn't going to. And if we don't, we understand. You know, can't change Mother Nature. I mean, look at poor Charlie. He's and he's so loyal to this program. He's willing to sit in the dark and be on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
New phone, iPhone
Wait.
14, and battery pack.
Yeah, yeah. So
I don't think he has a fancy T-shirt either.
no, I don't.
Oh, no. Oh,
Believe
no.
me, if he had a T-shirt, he wouldn't be in it right now because you're bundled up, aren't you? Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with the phone that it keeps breaking up, but that could well just be the service.
Cellular.
Cellular.
Only yes or no questions to Charlie tonight, please.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know, if somebody wants to make up notes to hand him, you know, so he can see it. What is it you're eating there, Brian? Brian is always eating on the show, which I don't mind, but what is it you're eating there?
It's a coconut. It's like 5 different coconuts in here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah.
You like coconut?
Coconuts.
Yeah, it's got like paper coconut here, and it's got jelly coconut, and yeah, it's young coconut, old
It's all
coconut.
GMO, right?
Vietnamese dessert.
It's
Oh,
a
okay,
Vietnamese
probably not
dessert.
GMO.
Does your wife make it?
No,
Oh,
she does make some stuff, but this one's from the other side of town.
Oh, is there a Vietnamese market?
All over.
Yeah,
San
we have a
Jose.
bunch of milk tea places around here.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of Vietnamese in San Jose.
Really? Oh, okay.
And a good friend of mine's a Vietnamese female that's a cop in San Jose. Got hired real easily because she speaks.
So anyway, this is, you know, I mean, we're, you know, we really have to reassess how we handle this sort of thing, considering the times we live in and the kind of things we have available to us. You never had everybody having this now, you know, and that everybody can record anything they see. Now, I got to tell you something quickly. Charlie's going to go nuts when he hears this, and I'm sorry he can't respond to it that well. Yesterday, I'm taking a cab back from the urologist. I hailed down a cab. We're not 2 blocks into the ride when I say, boy, the traffic is bit horrible today because Biden's in town. And I mean, you could not move anywhere. I mean, there were barriers everywhere. I mean, and I'm not in the part of town where the UN is or anything like that. I'm uptown already. I'm like at 79th Street, something like that, 72nd Street. So, 79th.
Uh-huh.
So, the guy says, yeah, well, I can't stand Biden. He's horrible. I said, well, who'd you vote for? And he said, oh, I voted for Trump. I said, but Trump's a crook. And then we got into this discussion back and forth.
I wish I was
And he
there.
said, and by the way, while you're at it, I was glad they attacked the Capitol. It's just too bad they didn't kill Nancy Pelosi.
Oh,
God. And this guy didn't get a tip.
No, wait a minute. That's immediately what I'm thinking. Like, what kind of tip do you get for this? So I start talking to him some more, and then he tells me how he came from Israel, and he was a general in the Israeli army and was responsible for the death of 1,000 Palestinians.
Oh,
right? And he keeps going on with this and about how Nancy Pelosi's husband is in the mafia. He said he's Jewish. I said, I know the family. He's not mafia, He kept going. I couldn't believe what he was saying to me. And then I said to him, let's not talk about this anymore because, quite frankly, it's upsetting me. And he says, okay. So we start talking about other stuff. We get to the end of the ride, and now comes the big moral dilemma I have. What's the tip going to be? Now, if you don't leave a tip, that doesn't say anything. He can just say, what a cheap bastard. By the way, this guy was Israeli, okay? So he couldn't call me a cheap Jew, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are with that, but I didn't go to the meeting. And I'm thinking, this moral dilemma. I mean, if I leave this guy nothing, he's going to say I'm cheap. And if I give him the complete amount, I'm going to be bothered. What if I give him $1? Well, that's not good. You know what I finally did?
No.
I gave him 15%. I thought to myself, this ride was worth the entertainment I got. And the fact that I was going to be able to tell this story today. Okay? Yeah. But I couldn't believe this guy. Too bad they didn't kill Nancy Pelosi.
They're still there.
Huh?
They're still there.
Yeah, well, I mean, this guy.
Well, did you see Jimmy Kimmel? Did you see Mike Lindell in the claw machine last
yes,
night?
Yes.
That was hilarious. And the guy is actually still believes that the
you know something. Lindell is so. How can I put it?
He's bent.
So bent that I kind of like him.
I know. He's entertaining.
He's kind of likable.
He's entertaining.
Because, yes.
And the fake guy, the fake Lindell came out there
funnier.
too. Yeah, so they were both there. They're both there.
Yeah, it was fun of him to bring out the fake Lindell, but I would have only done it for like a minute.
Yeah, he was there a little bit too long.
Yeah. But I mean, I enjoyed Lindell.
But Lindell goes along with it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, and so I mean, I think maybe there's something to recommend him. I don't know what it is exactly, but he certainly has a certain level of entertainment. And
well, Jimmy can throw shit at him, and he just takes it. It's like the whole thing with the election of the RNC, and he goes, "And you got 4 votes. Do you think that was fixed?"
He said, "Oh no, they did it with paper."
Yeah, it was on paper. No, it was fine.
Yeah, and every now and then he's in the claw machine. A kid would come along and put some quarters in there or something and try to use the claw machine. And he takes toys and throws them down the chute.
Shove a toy in it.
Yeah. But I thought I thought a little more of Lindell after that because he'd do it, I don't think he's that desperate for publicity, but
Yeah.
He came across a lot more likable after doing that than under normal conditions. But he's a fruitcake. He's an absolute nutball.
He is. I don't know how you can own a business like that, or.
Well, he does. Believe me, he ain't gonna own it for much longer.
No. It's like,
hey, you know something?
Giza sheets.
We've run out of time here. Hear the music? Isn't that beautiful music? Hey, listen, Jeff, you're leaving tomorrow, going down to Florida?
Probably Friday, Saturday.
Friday or Saturday. Okay.
Pick up Charlie on the way.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Also, thank you, Charlie.
Man,
we just hope
cool.
that tomorrow we see you in your full glory and the electricity's back on. But don't count on it. But just be glad because maybe Abbott's wheelchair isn't working either. So
Just think of the money you're saving.
Yeah, think of the money you're saving. Exactly. You're going to get 2 months or 3 days or 4 days of no bill. you know. On
Yeah, right.
Whatever. Anyway, Brian, thank you, and thank you, Alan. Thank you very much, Kevin. Appreciate it. And of course, the ever talkative Tony. Some nights he doesn't say anything. Other nights you can't shut him up. Anyway, everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you. Okay? There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel. Charlie's a real trooper, too. I have to say that. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. Jack Bishop is next with The Intersection. And by the way, if you see her, you know, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody. Good night.